So we're back at it. I'm not perfect. Never claimed to be. Pretty sure I just said I have some offhand in the hip pocket information that is useful, that can be utilized right now. See, I could harp on anything. We could talk about religion, politics, crime, social stratagems, everything. What do you want to talk about? Right now, I want to talk about the fact that the American people supported and paid for their own opiate addiction that they have right now via 9/11. Hold on. And the opiates that they paid to get addicted to were not what they paid to actually take over their minds. Probably like, what are you talking about? Let me get to it. See, much of you probably forget when 9/11 jumped off, the first place we went to was not Iraq. The first place we went to was Afghanistan. Now, I can't say if it was in the 60s or the 70s, but the Chinese found some $8 trillion worth of lithium, the same stuff you use to make touchscreen type phenomena and all kinds of other gizmos. They found a vein of this in Afghanistan. Some people speculate it was $20 trillion, $15 trillion, whatever. Trillions of dollars of lithium was found by the Chinese almost 50 years ago. The Americans, sometime in the 80s, found out after the Russians got smashed on when they were in Afghanistan. So, a lot of you don't know this, but I want to say, my man's Bin Laden is either Oxford or Cambridge educated. Anyway, he's a European educated man, English language educated man. Uh, the Mujahideen, okay, understand because that's who the Afghanistan fighters are. The Mujahideen fighters were supplemented by the CIA. They were taught all of the guerrilla tactics in the 1980s by the Americans to fend off the Russians. When you talk about the Brits getting smashed on by the Afghans when they first went there, these are a bunch of soft bodied, non rugged, living conditioned people versus a bunch of hard bodied, rugged, conditioned living people who just so happen to have guns too. Yeah, of course they got smashed on. The Russians were going to beat the Afghans had they not got the training that they had received from the Americans. This is a fact. The same training that they received from the Americans, okay, speculated that for trading of what you believe now, okay, they have taught you that it was a fair deal of some sort to train them to uh, to uh, to fight the Russians, and then they gave us now, okay, at a reduced price, the opiates for medicinal causes. Now, people speculate this is what happened with Bin Laden's fall off with America. During one of these episodes, uh, uh, Bin Laden was given some really old guns for top quality opium. And that is what initially set its fall off with America on out. Is that the truth? Who knows? But that is one of the stories of speculation, and we'll use that one in this line of thought. Uh, then there goes the story of him falling off with us, and you gotta understand, he only fell off with certain Americans. The Bushes never fell off with this man. The whole burning up of the oil field, you guys gotta understand, when they did that, they kept the petrodollar strong. That didn't hurt the Americans. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Look into what the petrodollar actually is. The money is backed by the oil. So the less oil that is in circulation, that's actually good for the American dollar. So saying that, the biggest thing, they go to Afghanistan because they already knew about the lithium veins. They go there, they start to harvest the lithium ore. Hold on, while you paid for this. You paid for all this, people. I'm only 25. Okay? Yeah, I served as a reservist. But the same thing I'm doing right now is why I'm not there. Not gonna tell me I can get my face blown off, but I can't smoke a blunt or a joint. That's my, that's my, that's mine to answer for. You don't gotta answer for that. So when I see the Father, that's on mine. That's on me to answer for. You don't gotta worry about that. But anyhow, back to Afghanistan and the lithium vein that they actually snuck right by you. See, a lot of people don't realize touchscreen actually only hit 2007, 2008. 2006, it was just jumping off other places in the world. Japan's been using touchscreen for a long time. Places in China have been using touchscreen for a long time. There's our secular places all over the world that have used touchscreen for a long time. I used touchscreen at my first job when I was 15 back in 2006. You know, I seen some of the first touchscreen monitors back in the 1990s. Touchscreen, believe it or not. So, and these are tube monitors, okay? These are the monitors that, one of these things can last for, 30 years, 20 years, last forever, if you let it. Anyhow, here's the thing. You paid for them to not only dope you up, but they doped you up. And while they doped you up, they rope-a-doped you. Hit you with the quick one. It's funny. Yeah, that's what they did, people. That's what they did. You're hearing it from a guy who watched the signs of the times in his own two eyes. Okay, I watched the world transform from a kid born in 91. The world changed probably more from 1991 to 2016. The only time it changed that much was probably from like the start of like the 1900s, to like 1920, when they just seen a robust kickoff of inventions and things that were supposed to help life. Witchcraft, technology, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same. It all takes things. Right now, the device you were looking at me upon is actually, it goes against everything. Do you realize that? The phone goes against everything. It goes against vibrations and frequencies. It goes against them to permeate to get to you. It is against nature in all practice. Why am I practicing against nature? I'm as wayward, I guess, as the rest of you, or as the rest of us, as the rest of them, in that sense of thought. But there's also the sense of, in my mind, of this is the only way to get to you. So, what do you do? The great conundrum, the great dilemma. Do I not say a word or say anything to you? Once again, I could spew another person's facts of information, but all it is a collective binding of information that individuals have accumulated over their lifetimes. So for me to give one person the acclimated being that this is what we're all used to, acclimated credentials of everyone else's combined knowledge, it's nonsense. It's nonsense. And it's incredible that people are so quick to sign off on things. But you signed off on, hold on, funding a war where they went to one place, then went to another, pumped an unknowable amount of opium back into the system. So you have to look at the signs of the times. Signs of the times say that in the 70s, heroin was just getting phased out. Heroin, whatever, getting phased out by cocaine. Late 70s comes in, mid to late 70s come in, cocaine is fully over. And it's in there now. Freebasing starts late 70s, early 80s. Somebody gets the bright idea, I'm pretty sure it was CIA. I don't think it was some guy who was born in the hood who first learned how to rock up the dope. Sure, it was CIA. Somebody like that. Bam. Crack cocaine comes. Takes over. Not to mention you have amphetamines that takes off in its own rights during the, I mean, it's been around forever, but, you know, during the late 70s, pushing all the way in, you know, guys who were coming from Vietnam and stuff like that was a great alternative for them to get themselves off of the heroin. That's what a lot of people do, just in case you didn't know. And they'll use the meth to offset the heroin, and then that's how they'll eventually quit the heroin. And it's easier to quit meth, a lot of them feel, than it is to quit heroin. I don't understand the logic, but that's the logic that I've been given. Saying that paid for, or in the late 70s, excuse me, methamphetamine comes through. This is all kind of happening at the same time, and you have to realize how it's all happening. They're just hitting it to you. Hold on, boom, bam. So what drug is really in during the 90s and the 80s? Right, cocaine took over. An unknowable amount of deaths happened over that from the 80s to the 90s. Are you serious? There's no movies about the 90s except in the 90s because the 90s were that gruesome. Let's talk about Chicago. Let's talk about Flint. Let's talk about late 80s, early Tacoma, bringing early 90s Tacoma. Let's talk about Compton. Let's talk about LA, huh? Let's talk about South Central, when these places were really happening, poisoning these people. Let's talk about Harlem, huh? Let's talk about the Bronx. Let's talk about Queens. Huh? Let's talk about Staten Island, all right? When you want to talk, let's talk about it. Let's talk about Milwaukee, all right? You people don't know. You people don't know, and the ones of you who do, you're not even telling nobody about this. You're just sweeping it under the rug. Elephant in the room, there is more than one elephant in the room, and they're all shitting all over the place. And ain't nobody got the nerve to talk about it. Crying. That's all you hear. And you people sold yourselves out to do what? To have a man go overseas, fight a war, then not broadcast a war, then broadcast a whole nother conflict where a man that they set in power, because yes, he was a hitman for the CIA, just in case you didn't know, Saddam Hussein, okay, man that they set in power, who was about to offset the dollar, okay, because these men across the seas had planned to knock America out the game, bam, overnight. They wanted everything to be backed by gold again. Boom, let's back it by gold. Hardcore. What you think happened to Muammar Gaddafi, huh? Man, you guys quit sleeping. Quit sleeping. Connect the dots. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. But you refuse to listen to the common sense of ethics. They have no ethics. So why wouldn't they, hold on, get the dope for cheap, for free almost? Did you know that a kilo of heroin, when it is first produced, opium, not even heroin, opium, in Afghanistan, cost $75? The price then, I forget what the percentage it is, but it goes from 75 to 17,000. Bam, like that. They're not paying these farmers nothing for this stuff. So these pharmaceutical companies went over there and got it for next to nothing, came over here and flooded the markets. Oxy 80s, Oxy hundreds. People were zombied out, killing each other, stealing stuff. A lot of y'all don't even remember a few years ago in Florida, it was so bad that they had to give young ladies the Percocet 30s just so their babies, because their babies were going to be born with withdrawal defects. It was that bad. Y'all don't know about it. You don't even think about it, don't even care about it. They brainwashed you with the dope. Hold on, and then they gave you a flat screen, touchdown on your ass. Right, with the lithium. Bam, hit you. You can't live without it. You don't think you're somebody without a freaking touchscreen phone. Sucker. Sucker. What a sucker. I have a touchscreen phone, but not for that reason. It's just because they don't sell anything else like that. You have to go to obscure shops that, too much trouble. Anyhow, do you guys not realize that they do whopped you and whopped you at the same time? Hit you with the fake BS with the whop, and then put the two-piece on your chin, all in one. All in one, you got hit. They took your money, people, and then they zombified you. Right. Now you're ready to go all in on a cause that don't even matter. Man, it's crazy. It's crazy. It really is. It's one of those things where hopefully one day, before it's too late, you guys put together the pieces. Because it's coming. The big one's coming. I used to say it all the time when I was in the Marine Corps. The next big one is going to be right here in Babylon, baby. You can believe that.